Hello everybody and welcome to Hearthstone, a game where you spend money and you get cards. On today's video we're going to go over the Hall of Fame, a card set in which is going over to the Wild format even though it's part of the Classic format. It's cards that have been used way too much for their own good, and they're looking to change things up just a little. First one that we have on this is Conceal, a card that I will have in the corner right here. And Conceal, give your minions stealth until your next turn. I'm gonna miss this card because I used to play Leroy decks on a constant basis when I had Leroy. And I would just Conceal Leroy, attack, Conceal Leroy, Shadow Step Leroy, then I would attack again, and then they'd be dead by the time that was over. So I'm going to miss that card. Keep in mind that you're going to get all the dust, and you get to keep the card for when these cards go over to the Hall of Fame format. Ice Lance. I'll have it in the corner right there. Ice Lance. Freeze a character. If it's already frozen, deal 4 damage instead. So this pairs well with Glacial Elemental. This works well with Water Elemental, Frostbolt, another Ice Lance. It's pretty much insane for its mana cost, and I'm going to miss this card as well for Freeze Mage. Power Overwhelming. Since I main Warlock, I'm going to miss this card quite a bit. Power Overwhelming. Give a friendly minion +4/+4 until the end of the turn, then it dies horribly. It's 1 mana. Most of these are 1 mana because they're just all around fantastic cards that we're going to miss for the time being. But they're not being taken away until April 6th, because that is when the expansion hits and the Year of the Mammoth begins. So, I'm going to miss it for Leroy decks, again, because Charge decks and Leroy decks are my favorite things in the world. I'm going to miss it quite a bit. So, you'll be able to get 40 dust from Conceal. No, wait. 20 dust from Conceal, 20 dust from Ice Lance, 20 dust from, 5 dust from Conceal, 5 dust from Ice Lance, 5 dust from Power Overwhelming. And if you have 2 of each, then you get 10 dust for each one. So basically, if you have 2 Conceals, you'll get 10 dust. If you have 2 Ice Lances, you'll get 10 dust. And if you have 2 Power Overwhelmings, you get 10 dust. So that's pretty good. And you get to keep the cards. So you can, if you are kind of like me, where I don't even touch the Wild format, then you get to basically get an extra free 5 dust, so that's pretty good. Azir Drake. Spell damage 1, battle cry, draw a card, 5, 4, and 4. I'm going to miss this card a lot, because it's basically an auto-include 5. No matter what deck you're playing, it could be Warrior, it could be Mage, it could be Warlock, it could be basically anything. This deck would be insanely viable. Pretty good for its stats. Drawing a card is basically 1 mana for that, and it also comes with 1 spell damage, and it's a dragon, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna miss that card quite a bit. Ragnaros the Fire Lord. I almost said Light Lord there. I've been getting a little bit too accustomed to that. 8, 8, and 8. Can attack at the end of your turn, deals 8 damage to a random enemy. This is automatically ran in every aggro deck that I've ever seen. There is not one deck that I've ever seen that doesn't include Ragnaros. So, that's a huge hit for the aggro decks. Pretty happy about that, but I also will miss the card itself. Sylvanas Windrunner. Death Rattle. Take control of a random enemy minion. So basically, mind control on steroids if it was a minion. 6 mana, 5 and 5. Basically, the mind control is 1 mana, but you don't get to choose what you want to mind control. Instant include for 6 mana, pretty good for taking minions. It's alright. I like it a lot. And that's going to be all that you can get right now for the Hall of Fame. I think next year they're going to add a few more cards, the more cards get played. They just want to change up the meta just a little bit for it, because it's gotten so stale at the point that all you see is Pirate Warriors and aggro decks. So that's all you ever see nowadays. So this will get rid of Miracle Rogue. No, not really get rid of, but it's going to hurt Miracle Rogue, Freeze Mage, Leroy Warlock, basically any deck that involves Azir Drake, aggro decks, and basically any deck that involves Sylvanas Windrunner. They're all going to take a hit, but you're basically going to get 1,600 dust for the legendaries, 100 dust for the Azir Drake, and about 10 dust for the Conceal Ice Lance and Power Overwhelming. All in all, I'm going to miss these cards. They're going to be they're going to be completely shifted over to the wild status. And as a person who doesn't play wild, it's going to be quite devastating to all my decks. But hey, free dust, you know what I mean? That's going to be pretty good. So, if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.